Then we have the different components of GIS, and in these components we have basically 5, and these are components that are wired together to work in harmony, and these components utilize the basic principles that we need to understand the ecosystem, to understand the GIS itself, to understand the applications and how it works in the different contexts. So we have people, we have data, we have methods, we have hardware, we have software. These are the 5 components. And we've already seen that, for example, people, yourself and myself are people. We are going to load data, we are going to follow certain processes, we are going to use our computers, and we are going to use QGIS software for our work. So simply put, in that sentence, we've mentioned all the components of GIS. So we start with, for example, the people, and one of the elements that I usually recommend to people is that they need to understand how to read maps. And not only in this context, not only reading maps, but also creating them, understanding them, and being able to communicate to the general population on the maps or on the work that they are doing. So GIS will adapt to the processes or the features that you give in, and this is more of the analysis you do. You have the inputs and outputs, and you'll be able to see your results. We have data where we're going to see the difference between primary data and secondary data. Nowadays, in the advent of different technologies, you find that most of our devices nowadays are collecting data, including our cars. So we have primary sources of data and we have secondary sources. We are going to dwell more on these topics, and we'll be able to understand what they basically mean. The other thing with data, there are quite a number of sources, and we shall see in later stages, whereby we are going to get data from different sources. We're going to use it, and we are going to use it for different purposes. So there are basically steps onto how you can acquire different data. This will depend with your requirements, and it will also depend with the tools that are available to you. We have methods, or what we can say about methods. These are processes that you need to undertake to achieve different outputs within your GIS ecosystem. Then we have hardware. Of course, we have our devices, mobile phones, we have computers, we have laptops, we have tablets. All these are hardware, and we've been using them for quite a while. And there are a lot of advancements when it comes to this area. So the hardware is getting better, software is also improving, people are getting smarter, and data is getting more and more on a daily basis. So we have the software part. So I know someone would ask why we basically decided on open source. This is because we want to have something that is flexible for all of us in different ecosystems. So we chose the open source QGIS software, but that doesn't mean that we don't have other software. We have other GIS software out there. We have the 2 broad classes, which we can say open source and commercial. So when you look at the commercial class, we'll find the popular ArcMap or ArcGIS software. It's very powerful, it's very powerful, and if you've not checked about it, you can also read about it. But in this course, we are going to focus on the open source product, which is QGIS.